Hi there, I am Anita and this is my sewing channel, Sewing Yogi. Welcome. So today I'm going to chat to you about the things that I made in July. Sorry this is a little bit late. I did intend to get this done a bit earlier, but things got in the way with having a cold and having loads of stuff going on in the house. So I'll get straight on to what I'm wearing. So this is the Rosa dress, and this is a dress that I didn't intend to make. It's a very big floaty dress. I'll show you the pattern as to what it looks like on the pattern cover. So it's this dress here, and it's a free pattern from Simply Sewing magazine, and I thought it'd be a nice summer dress to make. There's two lengths. You can do it in a shorter length just above the knee or the longer length. Now I've just chosen to go with the longer length. I haven't taken any off the length, hoping that it would be a maxi dress length. However, it's not quite maxi length, so next time I will probably add some onto the length to make it just a little bit longer. But it's fine as it is. I'm quite happy with how it's worked out. So I made the size 6 and it is huge. I have done some adjustments to try and make it fit me more, and I think in my Friday sews I'd said that I was going to put these buttons on, which when I got the buttons I weren't really that happy with them. I didn't particularly like the colour. They weren't the colour I was expecting. However, I've put them on anyway. Because I can't find any other buttons this size. I wanted some white buttons. I've searched everywhere and I couldn't find any white buttons. And I did buy some black buttons, but when I put the black buttons on, I didn't like the way it looked either. I thought it made it look a little bit doll-like. Like I felt like a bit of a sort of doll. It's a bit weird. And these I think still make me look like a bit like a doll, but they're not as bad. But you can see that it's very oversized, this dress. It's quite big and roomy, and this is the size 6. So if you wanted to make this one, I'd definitely downsize a couple of sizes. So I made the straight size 6, and I've had to make some adjustments in the back. So I've literally taken this in around the waist, because you can see here it's still quite big around my waist. And what I've done is I've actually gathered the section here in the middle. So I just put in a row of gathering stitches across the back panel, and then I've pulled it in to the fullest I can pull it in, so tight as I can, and then I've stitched it in again, and then adjusted my gathers on the skirt so that it fits the bodice, and it's worked out okay. I think it's still quite big, so if I hadn't have done that, if I hadn't have pulled that in, it was really gaping and huge at the back. So now I mean it kind of just goes in just a tiny bit at the back, my lower spine here. I do have a sway back, so it did look really obvious, and that seems to have worked out quite well. So again, little tip, if you thought that it was just too big, you could probably just do the same thing and just take in the gathers. Because of the way that the skirt is made, it's just a gathered skirt. You do put some elastic in, which I did put in because of cinching it in so much. It was just a little bit tight to try and get over my head. So I put the elastic in, like it said, just so the stitches don't tear. But I'll stand back so you can see the full length of it. So I have a little step that I'm standing on just so you can see the bottom part of this. It's kind of, yeah, I'd say halfway down, maybe just above the ankle. It's not as long as I would wanted it, but it's still fine. I can still wear it as it is. I'm happy with the length, but next time I will lengthen it a little bit longer. But it's a lovely floaty dress. It's really nice if it's a really hot summer's day. It is quite big, but then I kind of wanted it to be a little bit big and floaty anyway. So you can see all the gathers at the back that I've put in, just in this section here, which I think looks quite good, and it's worked well for me. But like I say, it's lovely and roomy. Just not sure about the buttons. I found some white ones, but they were a bit too small and I didn't think it looked right. but I may try them and just to see if it works out any better. I don't think it looks awful. It does work. I have worn it out, but I'm still unsure. I'm sure about these buttons. Yeah, so overall, I'm quite pleased with it. Great for a summer's day. It's quite, it was quite an easy make. The bodice part is lined, so I've just lined it with some white cotton. And the tabs here. So with the tabs, you're just literally making a ring and sewing it on. They do tend to slip about. So I think I'm going to just stitch those in so that they stay in place, because there's no way of kind of just stitching them in. They just sort of move about, and the seam tends to just sort of come around the front a little bit. So I may stitch those in as well. And then the front part here, the front just sort of hangs down a little bit, which is a little bit annoying. Again, I might move the button over slightly or just put a stitch in to stop that from moving. I have actually stitched these buttons on. There's no buttonholes. I just thought there's no point me putting buttonholes in if it's, easy to take off and on over the top of the head. I just left them as they are. So yeah, I'm quite happy with it. I like the material. The fabric is lovely. It's just a viscose fabric that I purchased on one of my market buys. Yeah, I'm really quite pleased with it. I don't think there's anything else to say about it other than I will lengthen it for next time. I'm going to add on a good few inches onto the bottom tier. I did think about, because I'd already cut it out, I thought about just recutting the bottom tier out, but then I literally just couldn't be bothered. I just thought I'll just stitch on this one I've got, and if I make it again, I will lengthen it. So yeah, that's the first make I did in July. So on to the second one. So on to my second make. This is the Sew Over It Sylvia Robe. And when I was making this, I thought I'd made a massive mistake in choosing this fabric because it was a nightmare to sew with. It's a soft drapey fabric. I couldn't tell whether it's a georgette or it's chiffon. It could be chiffon. It's very, very transparent. You can see through it quite easily. Yeah, it was a nightmare to cut out. I stupidly cut it on the fold, and I should have just cut one piece out flat and then another just by flipping the pattern pieces over. That would have been much easier. I could have spray starched the fabric, which again I have done in the past, and I just completely forgot. Just maybe got too excited and just went ahead and cut it straight out. And I could have used a walking foot. Someone suggested a walking foot. I can't remember who it was that suggested that, but I was thinking, of course, why didn't I get my walking foot out? So stupid. But anyway, it's come together fine. The next time I will do it differently. I had a nightmare with the seams. I French seamed all the inside. So I French seamed all the armholes and the side seams, which obviously makes it much nicer to look at when you're looking at it on the inside. And the sleeves, I've never done the sleeves before. French seams the inside of sleeves or the armholes before. It's always scared me, and I don't know why. I just thought, yeah, this time I'll give it a go, and it was fine. The seams for the arms, again, they were just puckering like crazy. I found that the fabric just really kind of bunched up, and I took my machine tension down, really down, as low as I could get it before the stitches started to look stupid and weird. Yeah, and that still didn't help. And then I didn't realise until I got to hemming the sleeves that I could have just lengthened my stitch length. So I lengthened the stitch length on them, and that made a massive difference, so that's helped. So next time I'll remember all my tips to try and make it longer in the stitch length, spray starch the fabric, and yeah, they may help. And use a walking foot as well. So yeah, my stitching on the bottom is not great. I've pressed this now a good few times, and it actually does sit better than it did. And there's still a little bit of puckering, but if you don't look too closely, it looks fine. And then I hand stitched in the front band all the way around the front of the neck, because again, it was just it felt to me like the fabric had stretched out, so it I just thought, I'm not going to run the machine over that. That's just going to look awful. So I've just hand stitched it and it is fine. But yeah, I mean, it's not amazing at the front. So if I stand back, you'll be able to see the, if I stand back, you can see, I don't like the way it kind of falls at the front. You can see just there that it's puckered still. But, you know, for the style of the top that it is, I don't think it looks too bad. And the length of it, I didn't change at all. So it's just kind of nice length for me. I'll stand back a bit more. It's quite a nice length, just kind of hip length, I suppose. And it worked quite well for me. I didn't change the length of the sleeves. I quite like them being the length they are. I know, I think they're meant to be, I think, slightly shorter. But I quite liked them this length. Yeah, and this particular make, let's get back in shot. This particular make was quite a personal one for me, because the Sylvia robe, as it is, just really reminded me of my mom. So my mom's name was Sylvia, and the style of the robe and the fabric that I've chosen is very much her. So I just felt that it was the kind of thing that she would wear, and you know, the style of the fabric, the pattern on here, I just knew that she would have loved this particular style. So when I was making it, I was thinking a lot about her. She's not with us anymore. She passed away many years ago when I was 20. So yeah, it's one of those things that she crops into my mind every now and again. She was someone that sewed, and when we were younger, she made all our clothes. Yeah, so I have fond memories of watching her sewing. It's funny though, because I remember she didn't particularly enjoy sewing, but it was kind of more of a chore that she kind of had to sew. I think it was more for some necessity than actually just enjoying the sewing process. I think it may have been a case that we didn't have very much money when we were smaller, and you know, we couldn't afford to buy clothes, so she would make them. Making them was much cheaper in the old days. So yeah, I found that my memories of her doing it were of her really not loving it to the degree that I love it, if you know what I mean. And she would sort of dip in and out of it. But she was a very good seamstress. Everybody always commented on the fact that she was very good at it. So I think perhaps I learnt a few skills from her from watching her. She didn't really ever teach us how to sew. I think it's probably because it was more of a chore for her than it was an enjoyable hobby. So, but I observed, I picked up a few things that she used to do. But yeah, it was a nice thing to think about as I was sewing this, and I've enjoyed making it, even though it was quite stressful with trying to work this fabric out. But yeah, I made the size extra small. Actually no, it's the size 6, because the old pattern as it was used to come in sizes extra small to, I think, perhaps extra large, and now it comes in sizes 6 to 18, could be 20. I'll write it along the bottom if I've got that wrong. So because I hadn't printed this pattern off when I first purchased it, I only recently printed it off. So fortunately for me, I got the new updated sizing of 6. So I did the size 6. So I knew it would be oversized because I'd seen other people's on Instagram and other YouTube vloggers. I've said it is quite a large fit. So I knew I wanted to make the smallest size possible. What else did I do with this? I think that's pretty much it. As I said, I've left the sleeve length, the length of the actual garment. Definitely going to make another one and see how it goes. The next one I may make a longer version for wearing at home as a robe for in between getting ready for going out in the evening or something like that kind of thing, with a nice glass of martini or something, or whatever you've got going, probably more like Prosecco for me. But yeah, so I've really enjoyed making it. I will definitely make another one. It's a really gorgeous make. I actually felt like it was a bit too glam for me. I thought this is too nice for me. I tend to, anything nice I tend to ruin, so I'm trying to not wear this around the house and just keep it for going out, so I don't ruin it or snag it, because that's my other thing. I accidentally brush against, usually it's something in this house, or we've got so many bits of wood framing of door frames and cupboards that are all old wood that have all got splinters or bits that are sticking out, and I tend to catch my clothes on and they tear everything or snag everything. So I'm trying to walk around the house as kind of stealthily as possible to not snag it. But yeah, I love this one. Really pleased with it. That's about it I think I've got to say about this one. And so the third make I made in July was my friend's dress that I made her for her birthday. Now obviously I haven't got the dress with me now because I gave it to my friend for her birthday, but I've got plenty of pictures of her wearing it. I'll insert those pictures right here. Yeah, and I think she looks absolutely stunning in it. I've had lots of comments on Instagram for her and on here on YouTube. Thank you very much for your lovely comments of her wearing that dress. She does look beautiful in it. Really suits her style and everything. She just looks gorgeous. So yeah, I'm really pleased that she loved that. I think I made a straight size small. Now when I bought that pattern, I actually bought the wrong sizes. I bought the large to extra large, or 2 times extra large, whichever one it comes in. I bought the large ones, not realising it was the large ones. And I think I'd already kept it far too long, and so I couldn't send it back or change it. So I had to actually go on YouTube and learn how to grade down from the large sizes to a smaller size. Now you can do this if you've got the whole of the pattern. So if you've got at least 3 sizes, you can grade. So if you've got the smaller sizes and you want to grade up, you can grade up. Now I can't remember what YouTube vlog that I went to for this now. It was years, well, not last year, probably the year before I did it. And yeah, you had to kind of, I think if I remember right, you had to mark all your notches and then draw lines through them, and then measure each increment from each size. And then I just basically deducted some each size down towards the small and then extra small. So I kind of bluffed it to a degree. I don't really know whether I did it right. However, what I've made from those small sizes worked perfectly well, and it fits me, fits my friend. So it was a simple pattern anyway to grade from. I don't think if I'd be able to do it from a really complicated pattern. But yeah, I bluffed it, I think. So yeah, if I find that vlog which I used, I will put that in the link down below if you are interested, if you wanted to give that a go. You could probably search for them. It just so happened the one that I found was just the easiest one that I explained it well. And yeah, I just bluffed it. So, I mean, the moral of this story is buy the right size. Don't get your sizes mixed up and buy the wrong size. However, I found that some of the pattern companies do have a thing where they will, they have the smaller sizes and then they have the larger sizes and they sell them separately. Now, if you're in between those sizes, that's really frustrating because you've got to buy both patterns. So I think if you, you're in that in-between size, maybe it's an option of trying to grade yourself of the next size up. I think it's worth giving it a go. Just, maybe try with a simple pattern first and then, with something a bit more complicated. But yeah, there's maybe a tip. But she loves the dress. It was in a beautiful crate they found in the market. She wanted a fabric that was more goth-like originally, but you know, I've talked her around and she liked this particular fabric, which I was really pleased about because I couldn't find any goth fabric anywhere. Yeah, and yeah, she's worn it a few times, I think. She was happy with it. And that's all I made in July. I think just 3 things that I made. I can't remember anything else I've made. But yes, so that was quite a quick one, I think, today. In fact, it's quick. Yeah, it's quite a quick one. But yeah, if you've got any questions for me that I haven't answered in this vlog, then please do let me know, because I have got a terrible memory. And although I try and remember everything that I've done to a garment, there's perhaps something I maybe have missed. But I hope you've enjoyed watching what I made in July, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon. If you've liked the vlog, then please give me the thumbs up, and if you haven't already subscribed, then please do subscribe. It would be amazing to have you come along my journey and my sewing antics. So yeah, have a fantastic day everyone, and take care of yourselves, and hopefully see you soon. Sending you love and light as always. Bye.